Disclaimer. This video is made for entertainment purpose only, it doesn't mean to hurt anyone, and don't take it seriously.
I'm recording right now. Reason MC cannot use. This will be our 4,000th episode, and we still are begging for
There
money.
is no.
Can you give us
There
money?
is no trial run. That's
Can
the
you give us some
problem.
money for MC to use his camera?
We try. We did a trial
properly?
run. We lose some of our time. That's the way it goes.
Yeah, we've lost time so far. But as we get
Yes.
ready, since we look like we're ready, this is the breaking news as of Saturday, 2 days ago. Former President Donald Trump, an attempt assassination, and on our nation. Join us as we go through a me podcast you listen. Deep dig inside of the attempt assassination.
Coach JC underneath his face.
All right. So you sent me a video of the guy. They supposedly, now the thing that's coming out now is that everybody sees this guy sitting on a bleaker box. It kind of looks like, or something. I don't know what it is. White building, some kind of building. We've identified
The rooftop.
We've identified this
Rooftop
20-year-old who, for some reason, everybody saw him with a camera phone except the secret agents and the FBI and everybody else. But for some reason, someone with a camera flip phone could see this dude crawling on the roof, according to his videos, positioning himself to do what he was going to do. And nobody, but when you watch the video, MC, excuse me, looks like a police officer walking down below the building. Someone who looks like they're wearing the vest, like a flak jacket kind of vest. So this night, while I was going on stage, this happened. Lots of conspiracy theories flew through the air. And one of them came from somebody who said that this is staged, that this picture was set up to do this. That they had to make sure that they got this picture. That this, after this scene, I know, I'm just saying what people said. I'm not saying I believe it or not.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
but this had to be, they had to make sure they got this picture, that they believed that it was an acting job to make sure that he stood up, held his fist up with the American flag behind him to demonstrate what you believe now is the next president of the United States. Let me ask you this question. Do you believe that it was set up? Because I do find it kind of like he stuck his head out about 3 times to look at the audience. And I don't know if someone attempted to shoot me in the head, the last thing I would do is stick my head up as I was being escorted out. But
well, you can't hide behind two. I mean, this is another thing that
you could have crouched.
It's getting a lot of flack from the female Secret Service agents they're saying, why are they in there? Because of the lead's diversity initiative, that these should be gigantic men covering him, so you shouldn't even see this image. Basically, they would all be covering.
He shouldn't have stood up. He stood up, stuck his head up.
I mean, arguably, yeah. I mean, they shouldn't have let him. That's what a lot of the there's been a lot of. I mean, you can search for all these. I don't know if we should be naming some of the names by name. Not. I'm not saying that, but like all the different talking heads, so to speak, of everybody that's chiming in on this. But yeah, there's numerous sources. You could find them very easily depending on what you're looking for. But they're saying like, oh, this protocol should have been different. That, why are they aiming at him? Well, why are they aiming at the shooter? That's another thing that we'll probably get into for what looks like, minutes. And did they have a clear shot at him, or were they waiting for orders? All these types of conspiracies, or just theories are out there, which I don't know, seem very valid depending on how you look at it. But like, so your question is, do I think this is a staged picture, or obviously a staged event or someone loses their life, anybody who says that, it really sounds like an idiot.
And that's what I mean.
Know,
so someone died.
But I mean,
so, but do you believe that? I don't know. I mean, I find it hard to believe that someone.
How would you not see the shoot? That's the thing. That's the problem. They're calling him out. Now there's the one guy who's pretty famous for it now, at least in the last few days, you know, that was on Facebook and some of the other videos of the one guy in the kind of the MAGA hat with his hair sticking up from the top. He was saying they warned him and it was like a few minutes. Now from the time lapse video I showed you, that doesn't look like a few minutes from when they called it out. So that's not a whole lot of time, but it was definitely enough time. Or if they're calling for the people to say this guy's rolling around on the roof. So now, did that cop not get there in time that you're talking about walking towards him, or did they just not see him? That's the problem that's running into. Like, most of the arguments are, should they have seen him? You know, and that's the argument. Like, should that have been already like a cleared? That should have been a perimeter where somebody possibly should have been up on top of that roof to begin with, because it's still within 200 yards away, which really they're saying most anybody who would have been a good shot could have made that shot from there. So it's really a lot of shit it's unfortunate with a lot of people.
But it also is just it's amazing that it was allowed to be. I don't know. I mean, again, you would think that any type of this, my freaking mouse died, that any type of this shit that would go down, that this would have been better secured. I guess that's the best way of putting it.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. At the very least,
seems like it wasn't secured like you would believe it was. You know, you think it would have been a better secured situation, but I don't know. I mean, I really don't. I listened to it because you told me. I don't think it even popped up on anything I was watching. It was just kind of weird how fast everything happened. But then on the way to the show, I listened to, God dang it, man, my mouse died. I was listening to.
That's called technical karma.
I listened to
making fun of me when I'm trying to get my camera working.
Shut up. I listened to no, it's called stupid Office Max. So I listened to CNN and I listened to Fox News, both back and forth, because I like to get to both sides. Fox News, of course, pro-Trump, painted the picture for Trump. You know, this is crazy. Both sides declared that this is uncalled for and dumb. The best part of the whole story, I think it was when they said Biden was trying to reach out to Trump, and Trump was and Biden was unable to get a hold of him. Biden had to leave church to come out and discuss with him. And I'm thinking that they should have just said was feeding babies or doing something else, like working in an orphanage, because it just sounded so.
He had to leave the soup kitchen he was feeding the homeless with.
We have to make sure that Biden was doing something very wholesome before he came out to check on Trump. And then Biden denounces it. Well, what do you think he's going to say? You think he's going to come out and go, that was pretty good. No, he's not going to say nothing. He's going to say, no, we don't want that. No one wants this shit. No one wants anybody to get shot. And the fact that
there's man. Compilation videos of some of the lowest scum of the earth. I'm telling you, like there's about, I don't know, they took about 6-7 different, whatever TikTokers, whatever idiots on social media saying that, they shouldn't have missed. Even Jack Black himself, and that video got taken down, but I tried to share it with you in a few. Yeah, he was in a concert. They were wishing him happy birthday, give him a wish, and he says that the shooter shouldn't have missed. It was just disgusting. Can't even say it.
That is bad. That is bad.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
So of course they got that video taken down, probably not to make him look bad, but I'm sure you could find it if you look it. And anybody who says that, you're a disgusting piece of trash. I mean, at the end of the day, like there's nobody from either side of whatever party should be hoping somebody gets.
No,
I don't know if we even say those words, because I see some of the videos where. What do they say unalived? I don't know if we could even say those words, but nobody should be wishing for somebody's demise. Let's put it that way, on any side of whatever party, but these people are so triggered to the point of wishing somebody death, you better check yourself in the mirror, man. Like something is seriously wrong with you. I don't care who's listening to this.
From what you just
says that it's disgusting.
Okay, calm down. All right, it says
it is. It's
USA
really
Today does post as of 42 minutes ago. Kyle Gass, Jack Black, Tenacious D, bandmate says don't miss Trump next time after assassination attempt. Says Kyle Gass, who performs alongside Jack Black and the rock duo Tenacious D.
Oh, so that was his partner. That wasn't Jack Black.
Okay. Facing backlash. Well, it's good that got clarified for joking about it. So I'm assuming he would get a joke.
There's a bunch of people laughing in the crowd. So if you're laughing at it too, you're an idiot.
People were laughing?
Yeah. You can find that video. Yeah. And I mean, apologies to Jack Black. I don't know if he feels exactly the same, but it was his partner, I guess, who said it. So yeah. I mean, if you find that one video.
His
Kyle Gass is his name?
Yeah, it's his bandmate. All right. So, anyways, yeah,
they're both heavy white beards. I guess I should have clarified that it was him, not Jack Black.
Here's the thing: social media is going to blow this up, regardless. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. A lot of people are posting videos. A lot of people are posting stuff about the assassination attempt, and they're trying to get stuff through it. What I would like to know is this is one thing I didn't notice when I first watched the video is I thought the crowd was sitting, the person who got shot, unfortunately, but I thought the crowd looked like they're sitting right behind Trump when he's talking, but they're actually pretty far away. I didn't realize they're not right on stage with him. They're actually probably a good 20 yards away from the back of the stage.
Oh, really? Yeah, that doesn't look like it. It
looks like they're right.
They do look like they're right behind them. Yeah,
because that's what I watched is what I thought to myself is, man, those people aren't really moving as though someone was shooting. Because I would have freaking moved away because it looks like these individuals are right behind them.
Yeah, from that vantage point, which is pretty much most of the videos you're going to see of it. Yeah, they do look fairly close.
There's children in the audience. Again, this is totally not okay. None of this should be allowed, as far as no one should encourage. This is just dumb shit. But anyways, so that's the part that was the weird part. So right away, I've been shot at. And you've been
shot at?
Yeah.
That's an episode in itself. Jeez.
Your reaction time is a little delayed. You're a little delayed.
Can't just drop that bomb of the episode. Just to give you an example, I've been shot at.
Okay, so right here, he hears the noise.
That's an episode.
He kind of flinches, and then one person ducks. The Trump kid just kind of looks over to see what's happening. And then
there's a lady filming to the side too that never stops filming.
And so everybody goes down except some individuals just sat there and watched. That's why it really looks odd, because normally
there's a lady to the side they show. Yeah, there's a lady to the side you can't see on this one. I think it's a little bit further. I think to the viewer of this is right if we would have gotten more of that.
Like this guy,
I've seen that video.
This guy right here.
It's not crouching very.
No, he's just
very low.
Everybody, he looks like he's looking to see if it's real or not.
Yeah.
And then now he's looking over here and look at this
Where's
guy.
The lady, trying to see where the lady was filming.
See the dude sitting in the bleachers?
Oh, he's not even moving.
No one's moved. Nobody's moved. Like, people are holding their signs up like that's going to block it, whatever's happening. They're like this, like they're holding it up.
I mean, I guess nobody.
What did you do when you
were shot at? What, you started running? Is that what happened when you were shot at?
I ran to behind a car. So
was this one of your many bar brawls that you
had?
It was. Somebody started shooting at you.
Yeah. Do you want to hear the story?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay.
We'll just name this episode. I don't even know if we'll be banned because we're saying that. When Coach JC avoided loud noises.
Why are we going to be banned? You and your band. Attention, me podcast you listeners. We are a targeted group for some reason with 39 followers. We are targeted.
Well, maybe this episode will be taken down later.
Everybody's looking at us, going, "Motherfuckers, those guys." Everybody's listening. So
we want to tell you, you've said the words SHOT 650 times in this episode, and we're gonna have to take this video down.
You create anxiety for me. You think, oh man, we're gonna get taken down at this one. This is it. This is what they're gonna show. I mean,
I'm watching videos because of people who are way more popular than us, obviously, but they don't use like terminology. They're like, why wouldn't he say that? And I'm thinking that that's probably because they probably have some sort of filter that tells them if you're talking about someone being silenced or whatnot. So maybe certain keywords
we're using the words that are in the paper, buddy. They say someone tried to basically shoot Donald Trump. So we know about it. It's already been in the news. It's already happened 2 days ago. We're on our way to the Republican thing tonight. This thing is old news.
Wisconsin, right?
So I don't even know. But anyways, my story.
Maybe because it's scary to people. If we don't,
it is scary.
No, that's what I mean. If you use the words like,
we were around when Ronald Reagan got shot.
Yes,
think about now today and the back then.
He was shot right up close too.
Most of these besides John F. Kennedy, people walked right up and shot at them. Like they were able to walk up and shoot at them,
which is insane, really.
This one, this is now they have weapons and guns they can reach them. So, anyways, me podcast you listen. This will be our last episode, according to MC. Will be banned for life after this.
I don't know if they'll take it down. That's the thing. Like, I don't know if there's like filters for certain words. I'm not YouTube.
What words? What words?
Bad.
What words would they use?
Should I just say them? Like, I think.
No, maybe you're like George Carlin. What do you think that are the secret words that we?
I think because it's like I think. I mean, I don't know if some of those videos are open videos where kids can watch them. Maybe that's why.
I don't ever put kids on here.
No, that's what I mean. So maybe that's why, because they're getting total viewership that they don't like. They wouldn't say the words like shut, like yeah.
Here's the thing. All we know from this point on is that there was something that happened at a rally where gunshots were fired at a former president. He's okay.
Shot in the ear, I think.
He got shot. Right. Not only did it shoot him in the ear, dude, it ripped through the flesh. Didn't you see it? Didn't you hear his little sting?
I've not seen that type of thing. It's all been about
he wrote a thing while he was in the hospital that said that he was shot at and it ripped through the flesh of his ear. Wow. He painted it. It was very big description. And then he's, again, the person who died, which is unfortunate. And then other people were injured. So unfortunately, I don't know from here on out.
Two are injured and one was unfortunately killed. Right?
One guy was shot. They said trying to protect his family. So
that's sad.
That's sad.
Yeah, that's
all right. So let's go into me and Roadhouse. So back in my earlier days of life, I used to get in lots of barroom fights. And I guess I wouldn't say a lot. I just got in quite a few, probably more than most people. And no, that's probably not true. I think we just leave it that. So there was a fight one night in front of a place called Shepherd's. And what happened was my friend, who's no longer with us, came back and told us that he was being.
So since you mentioned the bar, let me interrupt you real quick. This is past the statute of limitations, right? In case someone was really hurt.
The bar's closed.
Okay, so the Shepherds won't be coming after you for.
Holy shit, dude! You think Shepherds is tuning into YouTube? I didn't even say what town it was in.
Finally, this is where he is. We found him.
Fuck. It wasn't even on their property, so I could say I was in the front parking lot of O'Malley's. Do you remember that old hardware store? So, anyways,
no idea. No, I wasn't in Arizona at that time. I think.
So as we were sitting in the house, which was down the street, my friend came in and informed us that he was attacked at the place. And the reason they attacked him is because of my brother, and said that he was associated with us. So they roughed him up, I guess you could say. And I said, who roughed you up? And he was like, these guys. And I said, well, take us where these guys are, so we'll find them. So we went to the parking lot across the street. We pulled up. We didn't see any guys who, I think this was a made up story. So we got out of the car and we're like, who is it? Who is it? And he's like, I don't see him anymore. And I think it was. So anyways, two dudes are sitting by a car, minding their own business. And my brother decides that since we're not going to fight these two dudes, we're just going to fight random individuals. And so he turns around to this guy and he's like, what are you looking at? Huh? What are you looking at, pretty boy? Huh? Huh? The guy's like, oh, what the hell? And so they square off and start circling around in the parking lot like Johnny and Daniel and Karate Kid at the beach. And so we're like, hey, knock it off. And then this dude stands next to the car, goes, hey, get your boy. And we're like, yeah, just come on, knock it off. And then he pulls out a gun. And there was a nice shiny looking gun, like a movie gun. And I go, hey, put the gun down. You don't need no gun. And he's like, dude, get your boy. And I'm like, just fucking put the gun away. So I walk over. Of course, I'm full of liquid courage. So I walk over and I'm like, put the gun away. And the guy puts the gun back down by the seat and he says, get your boy. And so we separate everybody. No one did fighting yet. And then we all get it. They get in their car. I'm standing next to the passenger side of the car. And as they all getting in.
And is that who had the gun, or was it the driver?
Passenger had the gun.
The passenger had the gun. Okay.
So they're backing away. And as they were backing away, turned sharply towards me to hit me with the front of the car. And I move as it like kind of clips me. And then they go to pull away. And their window was down. So I reached through and just freaking like probably just forearmed him in the face, but just blasted this dude right in the face as they drive off. So
it's like, you can't get one up on me.
Yeah.
Even when you're trying to drive away, right? I'm gonna forearm you.
So, yeah, cool. Because they backed off like this way, and I kind of moved.
Son of a bitch! You'll never get away with one without me getting a shot in.
And then when they took off this way, it came right by me, and I was like, just reach right through the window. And so, anyways,
eye for an eye, motherfucker. Eye for an eye.
Should have just chased the car. So
grab their fender, rip their fender off. Eye for an eye. Got your bumper, motherfucker.
So, anyways, they turn and they kind of pull sideways to where the passenger door window's facing me. And I would say it's probably about 50 yards away, 60 yards away. But the problem is I didn't wear glasses then, so I couldn't see really far. It was blurry. But what I could see was a nice shiny revolver come out the window.
Oh.
And I'm squinting, trying to see what it is. And then I just hear pop, pop, pop. And at that moment, you think you would move, but I just kind of crouched down like the dude in the video, like, and then started
took the bullets. I just took the bullets as I was running at the car.
I started
once they see that the bullets couldn't stop me, they drove away.
Yeah, I just kind of squatted and kind of moved around like I was doing a Matrix, and then ran behind a car. So at that moment, my other friend who started this whole thing, he has a gun on him all the time. He always had a gun. So he whipped out his gun from his car and come running out. And then the doorman from this bar tackled
we've already said the name.
Oh, I know, Shepherds. It's no longer there, so it didn't matter.
Yeah.
They tackle him, and
oh shit,
they had guns. So they started pulling guns out and pointing them like, drop the gun, which is completely just a bullshit. None of these dudes are certified to have a gun, and nor should they had a gun. It could have just went ugly fast.
Your friend could have been running to save your life, and they tackled him.
Yeah, I would have been late to already been shot at 3 times. Yeah. So I was already done. It wasn't going to matter. The car already took off.
Either you were shot in
silence,
or
guy's really bad. He's a really bad shot with whatever gun he had. I was standing right in the middle of the parking lot. It could have been might as well just throw a gun at me. He probably would have hit me. So anyways.
Can't hit you with a bullet, but I can hit you with I could pistol with you from 50 yards out.
They shot me with a slingshot. Ow. So after
your squid date, that a slingshot?
Oh, just hit me right in the forehead. Like Goliath.
I'm gonna get you. You thought the forearm was bad.
I'll be like Goliath.
Dive on top of the car.
So
I'm gonna get my shot in. I don't care who it is.
I thought it was pretty genius. That and kicking the girl at the bar. I think those were 2 cool moves of mine. That little sidekick.
They could make a movie out of
Roundhouse
bar fights.
Yeah, that girl punching me in the balls while those dudes are holding me. I had no other choice but to use my feet.
Sure, let's clarify that he didn't just kick a girl across a bar, that he was kicked in the gonads before he did it. She was going to, right?
Twice. No,
she was going to do it again.
She hit me twice. And then
she was going for the third one.
She came in while they were holding me, like, do it again. I did karate.
That's justifiable. Big boot to the crust.
All I did was push her. It was a push kick.
You just stuck your foot up. He ran into it.
It was her fault. So anyways, so the whole story is that I was thinking to myself, shit, man, I'd like, you never know. Like I had a knife pulled on me one time.
So have I.
And I froze.
As a child, I had a knife to my back.
Oh,
I was thinking about this the other day. Yeah, that's another story.
I froze. I just like I
froze with the knife.
I think he was like holding it like this in my face, and I was like, I was trying to I was gonna do whatever yellow tips do in karate. I'm gonna do that move. So I had no plan.
They shouldn't call it that.
Yellow tips.
Yellow tips.
Yep, that's what I had. Yellow tips.
That's what they call it.
Little taper on the front of your white belt that says you almost made yellow belt, but you're not that close.
Oh, so they tape it. They color it to the effectiveness of the next level you're trying to get at.
Yeah. So I was taking karate class, and when I was testing for my yellow belt, they said, so close, but you get yellow tips. They just gave you a little yellow tape. Anyways, that's my story of my roadhouse. That was it. This story
sums it up. So I know what it's like to be shot at.
This story kind of fell flat about the Trump thing. Because you make it feel like we're gonna get the conspiracy theory every time I talk to you, and I was just curious, just to get.
I don't know what we can technically say or not say on this thing. I mean, maybe you're right. Maybe it's because we're saying
what are we saying?
Or maybe,
what are we saying?
I think it's the illusion of what we'd be talking about, like someone being like.
They
might as well, as we said, like killed, silent. It's just terminology. I'm just saying, like,
but
if this was going to stay up, maybe the terminology, there's a filter. They got a filter for everything. Like if you try to screenshot movies on YouTube, like just even one scene, like I think I was trying to screenshot a picture of.
But I guess
from
the guy but you're like my family somewhat. Not saying you're not my family, like you're like my family members. You're
my brother, but not my brother.
You're like my family sometimes, where you have a conspiracy about this. And I know you don't want to get into conspiracy, but I'm just asking you, with the situation that it was, I honestly believe, this is what I think. Trump's president. He's already going to get elected. This is going to make him look kind of like a martyr because someone tried to shoot him. And I think
he wouldn't need it, though. That's the thing. Like that's the thing.
Someone said that to me today. Someone said today that he's already winning.
What the hell would he need this for? Outside of the person being killed, like
I'm not saying
there would be no real reason he wouldn't need this.
I'm not saying
this would be.
He didn't plan it. I'm not saying it was planned. I'm just saying whoever thought this was. And I mean, because I think about it this way: what if he did get shot? Let's say they did hit him. And it would be bad. It would be bad. This would be a bad thing.
Well, that would cause what probably
it would cause
probably
shit, man. Everybody would go crazy.
War. I mean, yeah, I mean,
look what's happening right now.
Man, I might have my own thoughts on these things. Like I said, this
whole show is our own thoughts.
I know, but like I try to be as impartial as I can, so not lean like this is like my thoughts personally. But like I kind of feel like that's what they've wanted all along.
No one,
with certain narratives like, hey, the January 6th thing, and because you look at spinning narratives of how. I mean, and you're right. You said you watch both stations. There's going to be probably two different viewpoints and narratives of whatever station or YouTube channel you are going to watch, but you can only objectively try to make your own assessment of it as a human being, and then take whatever things have really happened into account. As all these things start to spin out, sure looks like the guy was spotted before he was shot. That seems like, from what you're hearing and the speech in the background, it sure looks like he was seen. So then that leads you to believe a lot of different things down the thing. Like, okay, was he seen in enough time for someone to do something, or did they not see him because of a slope? Or like we were saying earlier, should they just have had the damn perimeter better locked down, even though that was outside of the thing? And that leads to a lot of different.
But I'm never going to act like I know, because I don't know what the hell they're supposed to be doing. I don't know. I don't know what they're supposed to do and not do. It made no sense why they let him stand on stage and pump his fist and expose himself, in case there was someone else out there. They just made it look. So all that stuff to me is like, what the hell? But what I did hear on CNN when I was listening is a guy from Secret Service, former or whatever, was saying, to make sense, the reason they don't rush him off stage is because they didn't want to expose him in case there's another threat somewhere. In case someone else was waiting for that, in case they were standing next to the car, in case they were waiting for him to exit the stairwell. It makes sense. That makes sense. So sit there and say, why would you hold him there and have him? I don't know, and why would you try to cover his head with your hand? Like that one guy was like holding his head like this. Like, I mean, why wouldn't you push him down below you if that was what your job was? Why was the police officers, why were police officers standing there, or whoever standing there with rifles on the stage looking around, but allowing the camera crew to still stand there and take pictures and circle the stage? You would think they'd want everybody away, because I don't know who these guys are. Even though you've got them cleared, you don't know who the hell these dudes are. It seemed like chaos. It just seemed very dysfunctional. And this day and age and where we're at and who's on stage, you would think that there would be probably a lot more tighter security than what was happening. And this, to me, just seems like it's eye-opening, just shows you that they're not safe. There's people out there who just take it upon themselves to think that this is what they should do. And it's just it's a shame. It's a 20-year-old kid. Don't know what his purpose was, and no one's going to know why, because they killed him. So it's just nuts. It's nuts. And then you're thinking it does nothing but spur all these conspiracy theories that make no sense, because all you're saying is someone died. Like, they didn't just shoot in the air and everybody ran around and they staged it. It's to hear people's stories, like he cut himself. That's what made him look like he was bleeding. You could tell he didn't
like a WWE wrestler.
Yeah. And when I hear that shit, I'm just like, you got to be joking me. This sounds so far-fetched that it shows what the social media and what news and what this election race has done to people, to think that an attempt assassination on a former president, and we're all going to sit there and question whether or not this was some kind of conspiracy. It's like, shit, dude, seriously? It's someone tried to shoot somebody.
The gaslighting is what you keep saying, that, any type of conspiracy aside, even, because that's a gigantic episode in itself too. But like, if you're just taking things at face value, like this kid was just triggered by whatever triggered him. But you have to think the gaslighting of this former president would spin the country into, does that, he's already been the president for 4 years. And we talked about this, I think the last episode or two depending when this aired ago, 2 episodes ago. There was no wars when he was in there. So anything that they're spinning to you, gaslighting, like he's this, he's that, he's the worst. You're falling right into the hands of someone gaslighting you to be enraged. And if someone is that enraged over what you're painting them at, you got to be careful what you're doing. That goes for either side. Like, none of this would be right to bum rush, whether it be the current, the former, whatever. This is not the way to do anything. Well, the clear and present on the surface of everything is vote for who you think is best for this country and go out there. Any of this stuff is ridiculous. And any of the smear campaigns where you're painting a guy like he's an antichrist or a devil or, he's this or, that's got to stop, dude. Like the stuff is ridiculous. Judge them on their merits, even if you have to do
that's what I was going to say. Did you
research to do it?
Did you hear that? Is that what you heard? Did you hear people talk? Did you hear the media,
heard,
both CNN and Fox News agree with that? They think that they got to stop slandering, and
it's gone too far.
And they've painted these pictures that this is bad, and he's bad, and this guy's bad, and I think it makes it look that they need to start being less, I guess, aggressive. I don't know what you want to use the word, but slander is a good word for me. It's just putting people out there and saying that you're
defamation of character.
You're a threat. That just sounds
it's
very bad.
The defamation has gotten, I think, worse than it was when we were children too. If you remember Reagan against whoever he was running and all those other. I mean, it's been around since we've been around. They try their own tactics to discredit their opponent, but to the point where you're pointing them out where they need, like you said, they need to be stopped at all costs. That's a dangerous slope that if on the surface, like I said, conspiracy aside, you're just triggering somebody to go and do their own form of justice. All you're doing is ending somebody's life because I don't know what that kid thought he was going to do, even if he succeeded, but his life was going to be ended regardless. So if you're on that suicide mission to get yourself killed, that's what's going to happen. And I think that's when they do this defamation of character, you better start thinking, because also it now cost the life of an innocent, bystander who was just there to support a presidential candidate. And that's the biggest tragedy of them all.
All right. Well said. The podcast you listen. Thanks for listening to our edition. We're just tapping into what everybody else is talking about. And hopefully this goes in a positive direction. No more negative. And stay safe, America.
Amen.
And subscribe.